Hey everyone, welcome back to the Guided Programming Coaching Call. I'm Coach Mike. This week, the first question says, for my last meet, I weighed around 61.5 kilos about a week before the meet. And then after a water and sodium load and carb depleting, I managed to make weight right on the dot at 58.95 kilos. The problem was the whole meet experience was nasty. I couldn't sleep at all the night before. I barely ate anything, and I was really worried about making weight. On top of that, I had a severe cramp right after weigh-in that caused me not to be able to do any of my lifts properly. My question is, how should I go about it this time? Should I just diet down to 59.5 kilos and water load only this time, or diet down to 58.5 kilos or less and maintain there? I'm about 11 weeks out, and my current weight is 60.5 kilos or 61 kilos, depending on the day. I think you had it right for your first kind of suggestion. I would recommend that you get down pretty close within maybe a kilo or so of your target weight, and then just do a water load for the last bit. That should get you to making weight. That should take care of any sort of weigh-in issues. It's going to allow you to make weight with a little bit less stress. You've got a little bit less complexity there going on. And I know that there are other people, other coaches that like to do much more complex, much more rigorous weight cuts. But for you right now, especially considering the experience you've had in the past, I really think that you should try a simple version this time. Let's get to this meet and get a good meet experience under your belt. Put up a good total, set some PRs, have some fun and all that stuff. Let's do that, and then we can add some complexity a bit later on. But even for experienced competitors, it's important to stack up wins. You know, that's the whole build momentum mindset that we talk about so much. So if you've kind of done a weight cut and it didn't work out so well, let's take 2 steps back and get one and get it to work right. And then if at the next meet you want to introduce a little bit more complexity, you know, that'll be fine to do then, but just a little bit more complexity. And at that point, you have a strong base that you know works. And so if you introduce this little bit more complexity and it's a disaster, then you can fix it, you know, or if you introduce this little bit of complexity and it's good, then you can go with it. And now what that does is it mitigates your risk. Chances of it being a disaster are much more slim in that case because you're operating from a base that you know is functional. So chances are, even if it doesn't work, it wouldn't be a disaster. And in that way, you can kind of build your momentum going forward and stack up those wins over the course of, you know, a year or two. And maybe you get back to a place where you have a fairly complex and rigorous weight cutting ritual, or maybe you don't. But that way, you're certain that it's functional and you learn as you go.